you know, 50 years of spin soon, next year. I've just got a few questions to ask you around where it came from, really, because as being the father of spin, you can tell us more than anybody.
Hey, well, I'd have to go back a little before spin. At the time, maybe the first time I thought about sales was I was a research fellow at Sheffield University, and I was looking at interactions between people, teams, starting to look a little bit at negotiation, interested in any interaction that was measurable, because I was a measurement freak.
Yeah.
And one day someone said to me, "Why don't you study sales? That's an interaction." And I said, "Yeah, I could be a respectable academic. Why would I look at sales?" And they said, "Well, can you answer this question? In the average sales force, the top 10% outsell the bottom 10% by a factor of 3 to 1, and no one knows why." And I thought about that, and I thought, that is one very interesting question. And that's when I started turning my attention to sales.
Okay.
Next thing that happened was I got some research funding, because people will pay good money to have studies of sales, and especially where it looked as though there was the possibility of creating new methodologies. Something that we can't even understand now was how bad selling was in the days, in the early 70s, when I was really starting to look at it. Most Americans' methods were transported to Europe when they'd run out of steam in America. So they're like 20 short fire closes to close any sale. Books like Compelling Selling, which said, "Don't allow customers to open their mouths because they'll get doubts. So keep talking, and never ask questions." And a lot of people said, well, maybe those things work in America, but people in Europe don't think that way. And at that time, Xerox was making too much profit. They had to get rid of it very quickly. And I just happened by chance to approach them and say, "I think I have a method for creating a specifically European sales model, which works with the European customer. The other models which are teaching at the moment, which people don't seem to like very much, are about the psychology of the American customer. So it could be different." And that's when we first started to get the funds and began looking for a model. And in the end, that's what led to Spin.
Wow, very interesting. I didn't realise that. I didn't realise it had come out of the difference for Europeans, really, rather than the American one.
And of course, the ironic thing is, we found in the end that there wasn't a difference.
No.
We studied it in our research in Xerox in 13 different countries.
Yeah.
We were expected, for example, Southern Europe would sell differently from Scandinavia. No. We found that the people who were successful tended to have the same kind of pattern. And then later, of course, it became the predominant method in the United States too.